Hi, everybody. Welcome. You made it. Session number 4. I mean, nobody really thought you would, but except for my mom. My mom believed in y'all. I'm glad that you're here. Um, I hope that you got some stuff done yesterday. If you did anything that was productive in your life that wasn't email, you were probably doing life wrong. I don't mean to be critical. Tell me, let me know, those of you who are here in the chat, any progress, any obstacles, any things that we need to discuss. I am here to go through that with you if you'd like. We have a lot to get to, but those that are here with me on the call, and this goes for tomorrow as well, you get priority because you're live, and you'll be able to ask questions, and we will devote the time required to your business and what you have going on, because I think it'll also help everybody else to hear real life things that are happening. As it relates to email and making money, there's lots of ways, different ways to do it. I can spend a ton of time I can go into different areas on it. So let's do a little level set here. If you know that there are certain things in your business that you've been looking at that involve email to sell or to make money in some sort of way, will you share with me here in the chat so that I can cater some remarks to you? I have what I have planned, and I'll go through that, but I can also spend more or less time on this stuff. So let me know if you have been thinking about specific things related to making money with email. You want me to spend more time on it. Okay. Did not get to work on any forever, should maybe a copy of the seasonal template. Excellent. Okay. Lindsay, roadblock. Uh-oh. Do we need to talk about it? We can devote the time. Anything? Go ahead and unmute. Give me the quick version.
I think I don't know, everything just felt really trite and I don't know. And I think I was just tired. So I think I just need to look at it again and
Okay.
just make myself do it.
All right. Yeah. Let me know if you want another set of eyes. Happy to look at it.
Thank you.
All right, Danielle, affiliate links. Okay, we'll talk about affiliates today. How to sell ebooks. Let's talk about that too. People who have ebooks. Well, the question is, do people actually want ebooks in their life? That is a different question for me. But you know better than I do on that. It's a digital product that's easy for us to make. I've always wondered if it's actually that useful to the people on the other end of it. But that's controversial, Matt, here showing up. You may have a different experience. So let's get into the very first thing that I want to talk about is, I think, fundamental to, let me pull this out here. Zoom has given me some challenges today. All right, here we go. Let's share this screen. If I can get Zoom to play ball here. Here we go. All right. Okay, did that work? I hope so. All right. I want to talk, we talked about this a little bit the other day, probably yesterday, but I want to talk about it a little bit more because I think this is important. If we can serve our audience based off of their individual needs, we're going to have a better success at monetizing, because this kind of batch and blast approach in life doesn't work very well when it comes down to actually selling a product or convincing somebody to take an action that you want them to take. So segmentation is tremendously important. And in email, we can do, with the stuff that we talked about yesterday with the automations, we can create journeys for different segments. We can carve out different messages for those people. It all starts here, though, with what problem specifically are you solving? If you can figure that out, if you've identified that, then you are ready to dig into what segments can do. Now, what I'm talking about as far as segmentation, I think you all get the concept. There's somebody who really likes Disneyland is different than a Disney cruise person necessarily. Those are different segments that I can serve, right? As it relates to email, we're going to talk about this, dividing your list up by reader type. And then ultimately, we're just creating new messages or the right messages for that group of what they're interested in because that's going to help educate them and solve their problems. Somebody, it's clear, right? Somebody who is has a trip coming to Disneyland doesn't need the content around Disney Cruise. And too often we're just pushing everything their way. So we've talked about that a little bit. Here's just some real basic examples. This is Jessie from Practically Functional. The challenge she was having is that she's got these different kind of related things, home and garden, crafts, cricket. There are definitely some crossovers there as far as traits and interests that people have, but you can't just assume that because somebody, is into gardening that they're also into crafts, or vice versa, or just because they're in their crafts doesn't mean they're going to ever care to use a cricket machine. So what do we do? Well, the better we segment, the better we're going to get, engagement. Our click rates will go way, way up. Our open rates will go way, way up. We'll narrow down the solutions for our readers, and then ultimately this will lead to increased sales. I have a philosophy, and that is that if you solve my problems, maybe I'll buy from you. Okay, this happens a lot on the internet space. It's tricky, isn't it? I get these Facebook ads all the time, promoting, this shirt or this gadget based off of clearly my interests, what they think my interests are, or my search history or something. And I don't know how to trust these people. It takes me seeing that ad a heck of a lot of time before I can ever trust them. I said a whole heck of a lot of time. My wife thought I was swearing at you. I was not swearing at you people. But I've got to see these ads a lot. And I feel like that I don't know who they are. I don't know their brand. It's not like they're Target or Walmart and I know I can just return the thing. So it's tough to sell anything until you've built trust. That's why this problem solving and this engagement is so powerful, is that we build trust by solving their problems over and over and over again. Okay. I will buy Rick Steves' audio guides and physical guidebooks because I have used his stuff for years and I know that I can trust him. For us, as we start looking at what can we do to build trust, well, if our lists are segmented appropriately, we're going to have a much better shot at it. So my suggestion is, let's create these segments with their target readers. Let's send them really great targeted content for free. And let's monetize after we've built the trust. Now, how long after? It doesn't have to be very long. I'm not saying that you have to wait very long at all, but by segmenting and then creating solutions specific to what they need, it just occurs to me that as I'm sharing this is very elementary stuff. The reason I have to talk about this, though, is because with email, most of my clients, when they get started, their email programs are set up to be one size fits all. That may be you as well, where you're trying to talk to the Disney cruiser and the Disneyland person, or the crafting, gardening, ketogenic diet snow skier, right? You're trying to do all that with one email list. And if that's the case, then please hear me out the rest of this. So segment your list. How do we do that? Well, I'm going to talk about a couple of different things. The first way, and easiest way to do that is up front. No, actually, I'm going to back up. You may already have a list of the skier, the canner, the gardener, and it's really, I'm going to be honest with you, it is tough to go back to them and to segment them retroactively. That's a challenge. The way that you can do that, though, or I'm not saying you don't try, but the way the best things that I can think of are the following. I don't even have slides on this. You can create surveys where you ask, what are you into? What that does or requires is you might use something like SurveyMonkey or Google Forms or something. You have to then make sure that you match up the email address that they use to reply with the one that's in your system, and then you can add in information into your system for segmentation purposes. Additionally, you can set tags and triggers based off of things that they click. So you could send them an email that's kind of like a choose your own adventure thing that says, hey, I'd just like to get to know you a little better. Which of these do you prefer? Cats, dogs, or panda bears? And then when they click on it, that sets a tag or whatever in your system that tells you that they're into cats more than dogs and so forth. Now, the challenge with that is not a ton of people will do that. Okay. Doesn't mean you don't try, but it's going to be a smallish percent of people that will actually click those and do it. Another thing that you can do is you can put out content that is specific to a particular problem and see who clicks on it and then tag that. For example, let's say that you're a recipe blogger and you send out an email with my 5 favorite recipes for fall. And one of them is a slow cooker recipe. If they click the slow cooker recipe, that tells you they probably have a slow cooker. All right, that's retroactively. It's more of a challenge. That's why I'm telling you, do it up front. Do it at the beginning. Do it with a really smart quick start guide or other lead magnet that when they come in, they've already raised their hand and said, yeah, I'm interested in Disney Cruise. So you can do things you can create these quick start guides and put them out by post, by category, by page, by category. So you could take all your gardening, if all your gardening stuff is categorized appropriately, and put it out there. You could take all your gluten-free stuff, if it's categorized in WordPress appropriately, put a pop-up that shows a gluten-free quick start guide only on the gluten-free recipes. Presto blammo, they're in. You know that they are gluten-free, and you can do whatever you want with that. So, or you can do it by form. So let's talk about both of these. So segmentation by category. Here's one where somebody was, she has a lot of muffins on her, so she wanted to know who the muffin people were. So she created a no fail muffin baking guide. So that works pretty well. Here's another one. This is one of my forms, and this one works pretty well for me to find out what ship they're going on and when they're sailing. Now, a word of caution here. If you're segmenting by form, by adding additional questions, in ConvertKit, for those of you who have ConvertKit, they're simply called custom fields, okay? So if you need to look up the documentation on custom fields, that's how you do this. But be cautious with this, because the more questions that you ask, the higher the amount of friction there is in signing up. People go, this is too much work, or they want too much. What do they need all this information for? In my case, I'm going to use this. I have a very good use case for this information, because I can then set up automations based off of which ship and when they're going to send them very hyper relevant stuff. So for me, it's worth it to ask it. And by the way, all of that except the email address is optional. If you're ever going to do this, don't make any of that stuff required, because people will abandon ship and you'll lose the subscriber unnecessarily. Okay, is this segmentation stuff making sense? It just means more opt-ins. It means understanding your email platform so that you know that when this comes in, you set a rule that says, all right, they then get the gluten-free quick start guide, and I tag them as gluten-free. And now going forward, I know the gluten-free people. Specific tip here. This is very in the weeds. I found it to be helpful for me, so maybe it'll be helpful for one of you. If you get into this whole thing of labels and tags and segments, it's easy to go overboard with and go kind of hog wild crazy with it. And if you have a whole series of tags in your system, it can be a mess. So for example, here, what I like to do is to organize them by doing something like this. This is very, very tactical, okay? It just depends on your platform. Some platforms are like ConvertKit or like this, where you give a tag a name. And if I had done Cricut as the tag and quilting as the tag, then it would take in the Cricut tag and put it up with the C's and the quilting down with the Q and everything in between, and I wouldn't have any organization. So this just tells me interests, people who purchased, and diet. I've been on thousands of Disney cruises, Lindsay. Thousands. I am a subject matter expert.
Stop it.
No subject.
Thousands.
Maybe how many we've been on? I'm not even sure if I should reveal. It's shockingly low for a Disney cruise expert. But
Okay.
I think it's 4. So you would think it'd be a lot more than that. Don't tell anybody that. We're not. But that's the thing about subject matter expertise, is you just need to have been down around the corner, and you're an expert about what's around the corner compared to everybody else that's been around that corner. All right. So anyway, hope that little tip helped one of you. I want you to think through each segment and the journey associated with it. Okay. This goes back to our discussion yesterday. But if you can do this, you are creating, basically automated systems that are just run for you. And they're just so great. You can create forever series by segment. All right. We talked about what you can do if they have an air fryer, what you can do if they're into macrame, whatever it is, create that forever series by segment. That's essentially what I've done with the Disney cruise. Is that the first, after they go through the quick start guide, the next series of articles are all about Disney cruise, but in the order that I want them to get. All right. Why? Well, this is obvious. I'm going to skip over this. Okay. Now, some of you may be wondering, what does that look like? I'm going to give you two different models of infinite number of models that you could set up. All right. So let's say somebody comes in through your quick start guide. Now they're on the list. You could drop them into a mini series before you drop them into the general forever series. Okay. So let's say that you have, let's use food blogging as an example. They come in through an air fryer quick start guide. Maybe you only have 3 or 4 more weeks of air fryer content, or that's all you want to serve them for strategic reasons. You know that the people who have air fryer also like to eat, so we'll drop them into the general forever series after they complete that air fryer. Why would I do this? Well, because I'm going to get better engagement off of these emails here because it's hyper focused on air fryer. All right. Now you can do it a little bit differently. I do this kind of with the Disney stuff as well. And because I don't have that much content, it's a little, it's a little side hustle that I have. So I'm not constantly creating new content. So I actually, plus Disney people love Disney. So regardless, if they come in through, let's say that they're a Disney cruiser and they come in through my segment quick start guide, I put them into their own quick start guide, or excuse me, their own category forever series for Disney cruise, but they also get my general interest Disney stuff as well. So they're getting 3 emails sometimes per week on the ones where I've got a seasonal broadcast going on. Okay. So you can do both. I've got them running. Just the trick here is just kind of keeping track what you've done and which order you've done it. What I like to do is like the Disney cruise stuff goes out on Sundays because I know those will go on Sundays, and the general goes out on Wednesdays, so I can kind of separate those two. I know what's going when, and that's just a real simple way to keep this stuff set up. Okay. All right. I'm gonna move off of this. I wanted to talk about it a little bit deeper than what we talked about yesterday, though, because I think that it's important, especially as you start looking ahead to how can you sell stuff and make money and affiliate offers and so forth. All right. Let's get to this. This is my family as of 2019. This has been a little bit. And we went to Europe. They were old enough, and it was like, let's take this awesome trip. And it was 3 weeks. It was fantastic. And in this picture here, we're in Switzerland. And one of the things that I told the kids is that, hey, we're gonna travel light. We're gonna be hopping from train to train, and we cannot be lugging big suitcases around. So you know what we did? I got each one of them a Peak Design backpack. And so we ran through Europe wearing these Peak Design backpacks, and they have zippers everywhere, high quality zippers at that. And I've turned into my dad, by the way. I used to think my dad was crazy because he just loved things that had pockets. I don't know. He could go into a whole store that just was stuff with pockets. I can do that now too. There is great joy in finding a pocket for something. So that's what these backpacks are great for. Oh, and especially when we couple with the compression cubes. What we did is we put, you put your socks in one of them, and you put your jeans in another one, your unmentionables in another one, and you zip it down, and they fit into your backpack so well. And I'll take a look at this. No, not the scenery. I want you to look at my shoes. These are Allbirds, and these are so comfortable. I picked out these shoes specifically to go on this trip because I needed something I could wash. I'd be on my feet a lot. I'd be comfortable. Why am I telling you about my whole European vacation other than just brag that I went to Europe once? Okay. Well, as a travel person, these tools have really helped me out. Oh, and don't even get me started on my noise canceling headphones. I'll save that discussion for another day. I've got them right here. These things are fantastic. I want to talk about affiliate marketing. So affiliate marketing is for me, the unsung hero, and it's something where you can invest some time, get some systems in place, and you can have, it may not be the mega money maker of some of the other stuff that we're going to talk about, but I think it's worthy of a discussion because email works well for this. If email is about creating a brand and solving problems for our readers, your recommendations can really help other people. You're a subject matter expert. I want to do something real quick. Just humor me on this, okay? This is fun for me, and I don't get out much. So let's make a quick list. I want you to legit give me as many tools here in the chat specific to your business. I want name brands. I want specific model numbers of tools that you can't live without, that make your life easy or comfortable, that save you money or time, that do the work of a lot of other tools that make you feel like a genius because you have them, or you just can't stop talking about them. All right. I know you have these tools. So let's get to writing. Down there in the chat, let's go. Start sharing with me some of your favorite can't live without tools. All right. Whenever you're ready. Okay, Lindsay, let's go. Let's go. Come on. I do want this list. I don't even know what what's an Ateco cake tester. I mean, this was my cake tester. It's just stick it in there and then like that. I thought that's all you need. But apparently there's a name brand for this cake tester. All right, we got a Shark robot vacuum. Okay. We got a Kaboom toilet cleaner. I love the name of that. I don't know what it does, but I mean, I get the idea. And then magic erasers. Those things are fantastic, aren't they? I don't know how they do it. Instant Pot Duo. That's a specific device. Regina, is that right? And then we've got the Cuisinart food processor 9-cup 2000. The Blendtec Total. The salad spinner. I just love spinning a salad. Is that still a thing? It must be. You own a salad spinner. And then a grinder. Good, good. The Presto pressure canner. The Presto pressure canner. Okay. See, I love this. KitchenAid immersion blender. Okay. Obviously, any storage container. Great. You grow your own. Okay. I love it. Okay. Listen. You love these things for a reason. And as somebody that uses these tools all the time, you can make a really strong recommendation to your audience in a way that just really helps them out. I'm going to go through this section kind of fast, but I know we have a couple of food blogger friends on here. So you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever gone on Instagram and you've seen somebody says, another food blogger says, all right, I'm going to give you the behind the scenes pantry tour. You are glued to that. Don't tell me you're not, because you're like, okay, how did they organize? What products do they have in there? What appliances do they have? Why is that? Because we expect that they have done the work, that they know how to they save us time. Okay. It's the same concept of reviews on Yelp or Google. All right. For a good restaurant. That's who you are to your audience. Are you living that way? I don't know if you are. But just ask yourself, what problem can you solve? And then create affiliate ready content. All right, let's talk about this. So I have an article on my website about Disney Cruise Insurance. I mentioned this the other day, that it's in my Forever series. It's somewhere in the teens, like number 13, number 14 or something like that. And the email says, hey, do you need Disney cruise trip insurance? There's a 70% chance you'll need it. You check out, the pros and cons here. Now, if I launched with my Forever series with that, as we mentioned, that feels salesy. But by that time in the sequence, I've built trust. They're like, oh, Matt has been right so far about these other things. He's probably going to be right about this too. And then they go check that out. And then those affiliate commissions are wonderful. In fact, for a while there, um, they were covering the cost of my list completely. All right. Here's one, Natasha, how to use a knife. And you can bet that Natasha from Natasha's Kitchen, she has this very certain type of knife that she prefers. It might be a Teco cake tester. It might be your Blendtec Total, whatever it may be. That kind of goes to this. What's your, your list of can't live without essentials? This kind of stuff can work. And by the way, I'm giving you ideas here for content that you can create and then just promote with email. You'll probably rank for it and get additional traffic as it relates to that. So you're not even going to, it won't just be email where you make the money. You can make money in other ways off of the same concept. Perhaps you have, you can break down what's new in your space. What's new in pressure canning this year? I don't know. Or maybe it's the starter kit of here's what you need and what you don't. For those of you who have ever done Cricut, for example, it's this device, it's a certain craft. That company has a gazillion accessories. And if you're just getting started, you may think that you need everything. You don't. There's only a certain handful of things that you actually need. But you definitely, when you say you need these things, it really makes life easy. Maybe they like you. And so your favorite things list is relevant. Or gift guides. 'Tis the season when it's the season. Now, I know none of you, I don't think any of you are here to consider yourself a deal blogger, but you're leaving money on the table every deal event that you skip out on. So what do I mean by that? This is Merrick from Merrick's Art. She talks about sewing and style. And so when the Nordstrom semi-annual sale comes along every other month, she can go in and tell you exactly what is a deal and what's not. Because a lot of times stuff isn't actually a deal, but she can cut through that noise. Black Friday is the same way, isn't it? There's a lot of things that actually don't go on sale Black Friday, but you happen to know as a strong consumer and user of these products, I'm going to guess, just like I have done with Disney, is the best Disney deals of Black Friday can work for you. Now, whether you put that together, that list, or you have a VA do that or whatever, it can be the same concept with Amazon Prime Day. And guess what? If you make these for your space, you probably will rank for it. I mentioned that already. Other things you can do is you can use email to drive affiliate sales. So for example, I gave you one example already of dropping something into my Forever series. That's just one example. I have a whole bunch of these where I've got these different revenue streams coming from different emails that get sent out. So you just add that in. I've sent out, like, for example, I will write an email about an entire, like when Disney Plus first came out, I had a whole series about Disney Plus. I made a lot of money off of the affiliate program until everybody in the world ended up getting Disney Plus. But I capitalized on that because I wrote really great content and shared it during that time. If you send out seasonal broadcasts, you can also include, deals and affiliate sales. I'll show you an example of that here in just a second. Tags, triggers. Here's an example of let's say that somebody clicks on an Instant Pot recipe. You could tag them as being interested in Instant Pot, and that could trigger a new sequence where you talk for 3 days in a row about which Instant Pot you should be buying this year, what accessories you need with it, and here's the top 10 Instant Pot recipes. Okay, you just got to get imaginative here. So Danielle asked, are you saying that these emails should be turned into a blog post? That's how we would rank for them. What I'm saying is you write the blog post and then you use the email to promote it. Here's my top 10 deals, cleaning deals for Amazon Prime Day. And then on your blog post, blah, 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 the email is simply, did you miss it? Here are the best cleaning deals of Black Friday. And that's what you send them to. And that's what you would rank for. By the way, what you can do is with that post, you hang on to that. And because you do it this first year, next year, you can almost take the exact same email and send the exact same email out. It's just that the products have changed in the Black Friday of what's on sale, right? I do this across a variety of properties that I own. And it, it takes a little bit, takes a half hour to an hour to go find the real best deals. I also, here's a little trick, by the if you're into this. I'm spending too much time on this. I know it, but I just like it. It's just fun. So if you've seen this camel, if you're an Amazon affiliate, this might be good for you because you just plug in up here your Amazon URL, and then it will track price changes on that product. What I do with that is you get an email when every time the price changed based off your criteria. I have a folder in Gmail. When these alerts come, I never see them. They go into my folder in Gmail. So when the time is right, I can go in and keep track of what has been a good deal on different products that are core. For example, if the, whatever that was, immersion blender goes on sale, you'll have a price history there and you'll know if it's a good deal or not. Anyway, that's just a little hack for you. Affiliate links and emails usually are okay, with Amazon being the exception. You have to check on your individual affiliate partner. Everybody's got a different take on this. I don't even understand why Amazon doesn't allow it, but they don't. But somebody like Cricut does, and Cricut pays very well. And so you might just drive, instead of going to your website, you might drive, if there's a sweet deal, you might drive them to Cricut's site. It's going to depend on how you want to set things up. So that reminds me, this is from, because we were talking about Cricut, Corey George of Hey Let's Make Stuff. She shared this with me in one of these masterminds, that she just creates a little template. It's a little part of her footer of her email template. And she just swaps these out by season. She has some vanity codes that have been given to her by her top affiliate partners. And so she'll swap out that code when the time comes, but every email goes out with the deals and steals at the bottom. Okay, so that's just a real simple thing that you can do there. I have no idea what the point was on this one. What was my point here? So this right here, you can see that Lindsay from Nourish Move Love, she's an affiliate for these G2G bars. And so she has a discount code and everything. She throws it in there like a sponsorship spot. Probably did that when she didn't have a direct sponsor, when she had some free inventory to use. Okay. So setting that up keeps it going. I have another fitness client that is killing it on Athletic Greens affiliate program. And that one's residual and recurring. So my point is, don't overlook affiliate. It's kind of the redheaded stepchild of making money on the internet to some people, but it can really work. Oh, here's another one. Launch a new series. Okay, I'm going to go back in time. I'm going to look at what you all said. I'm going to say, I don't know, the Instant Pot Duo. I'm going to assume that's a new device. Is that a new device? I don't know. So you could launch how to use the Instant Pot Duo as a quick start guide. You could invite all of your existing subscribers to join that quick start guide. Hey, everybody, I made a thing. I want you to sign up for it. When you sign up, you'll get 5 emails that tell you how to use the Instant Pot Duo and the best recipes and tricks for using it. Oh, it's old and trusty. Okay, whatever. Maybe Instant Pot comes out with something new, or maybe maybe not very many people know about the Duo, whatever. And then what you could say is, this is only going to be around until the end of August, and then it's gone. So if you want this guide, you've got to sign up for it here. So make it time bound. And then you can create a launch and make it a whole thing. I made a thing. I'm doing this right now, as a matter of fact, as part of, I don't know if any of you saw it on Facebook. I think maybe Carrie, maybe you saw it on the Email and Autopilot Facebook group. I'm launching a new sequence that's about list growth, because I've got some important things to say there, but I'm doing a little tease on that right now. And I've got a plan to promote it. Carrie saw my tease today. I'm not even done with the sequence. And I got somebody, hopefully I got you to sign up, Carrie. I don't know. But I've got some people to sign up. I'm not even done with it. So you can do the same thing with affiliate. Black Friday, let me just mention this because we were talking about specifics here. With Black Friday, Oh, look at this tip I have. Well, your main job at Black Friday is to just cut through the noise for people, because they're going to get tons and tons of emails. They're inundated with lots of sales related promotions. So when you point out the real deals, you can be doing them a huge favor. Now, remember my camel tip? This is the email address that I use to filter. So I signed up for email, or signed up for their alerts using mmullen plus camel@gmail.com. Did you know you could do this with Gmail? Is that if you have mmullen@gmail.com, you can do plus anything. It'll still come back to the mmullen account. It's just to camel, that looks like a different email address. Now, why would I do that? Well, I do that for multiple. I can use that for different testing purposes. I can also use that to sign up for different things. So I might have mmullen plus research. Then I can filter anything that is mmullen plus research into its own Gmail folder. So it's a nice little tip if you use Gmail. Subject lines. Don't get too cute on Black Friday. What do I mean by that? I had a client that her Black Friday emails just weren't working. And then I went and looked at what she had been sending. And it was something like, I can't believe I almost missed this one. Or I can't believe I've lived my life without this special deal. No. At Black Friday time, like I said, their inbox is very full. So you got to stand out with clarity. 10 best hair product deals of Black Friday, period. Just cut to the heart of it and promise them exactly what you're going to give them. At Black Friday time, it might make sense to increase the number of emails that you send. Everybody's doing it. It's okay. You're not going to miss, your audience is not going to care. In fact, they might appreciate it because they're so overwhelmed in doing bulk deletes. It's just what happens at this time. You could also partner with a brand and go take advantage of somebody else's budget. What do I mean by that? I have personal experience in this space of being a marketing executive with no budget and have no brand at Black Friday time, and my boss still expected the moon. So if somebody came to me, I was very big with affiliates. If one of my affiliates came to me and said, I will do some extra promotion for you over Black Friday, this is a real story, really happened, and I just want X. In their case, it was increased affiliate commission. That I could do. Your best affiliate partners can probably do that for you too. So go ask and partner with them to do something different, because they have the same struggles. They are not Target and Walmart, unless of course they are Target and Walmart, but no, that's only two people, only two brands. It's an okay time to offer deals on your own products. I don't love that. I don't love ever doing that, but Black Friday is probably the safest time to do that without feeling like you're really, hosing the overall value of your products. And then this subject line right here, I want to give you my favorite subject line of all time, but it works great at Black Friday time. And it's simply, did you miss it? Now, did you miss it works wonderfully because of fear of missing out. And they assume that they did miss it. Did you miss it? Here were the top 10 deals of Black Friday. Did you miss it? Here were the top 5 sales, or top 5 deals we found for Cyber Monday, right? It's just, you can do this right now. Did you miss it? Here were the top 5 recipes for July. I promise. I've tested this one more than any other subject line in the last 25 years, and it always wins. Okay. That's very much in the weeds. All right, let me pause for a second. And let me tell you what we're going to be doing on the next couple of days. Now, before I get to that, I have a couple of the random tips that I'm going to share with you to kind of close things out. But tomorrow, what we're going to dive into is the actual sales of your products. And we will talk about the changing nature of ads in email. Okay, so those are 2 big topics, and I want all of Friday to talk about those 2 topics. And I want you to come back on Friday, because if you are thinking about selling anything, you're going to want to know about sales funnels, what type of emails to send, how often, how do you make it so you're not annoying people, what are campaigns that work, what are things to include and not include, and I will tell you. I will give you some very specific examples that you can hopefully get inspired from. And then second, we will close out by talking about the other ways that people are doing are making money with email, and that is straight up having ads in emails. And you may bristle at that a little bit, but the reality is that people are advertising everywhere, and your audience is used to seeing ads next to your stuff. And so it's really not an issue when you get into email either. But anyway, we can talk about that tomorrow. Now, before I leave you today, a couple of other random things. Oh, I could tell you now, Lindsay and Danielle, but I am not. I just, it's the big tease. You got to be back tomorrow. All right. I want to share with you, though. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. A couple of the randomness that may help you. Zoom is failing me today. Give me a quick second. Here we go. All right. All right. Random tips and minor inspirations. I really don't want to oversell any of this here. First of all, why your opt-in or quick start guide might not be converting. Okay. We haven't had a lot of time together. We've only had 3 sessions before this. So some of you have not even launched your quick start guide yet. And if you have, you may be wondering why it's not working. Okay. It's usually one of these reasons. It's actually not usually the fault of the guide itself. It's a good lead magnet. It's usually one of these things. Number 1, visibility. How does anybody even find it? If you are counting on your sidebar to drive subscribers for you, you're not going to go very far. If you're counting on exit intent pop-ups to get you anything, those aren't going to get you anything either. So how did anybody find your quick start guide? We talked about different ways you could do that in the pop-up section. So if you need to go back and rewatch that. Additionally, messaging. Maybe you're saying something really important, but the way that you're saying it is confusing to somebody who just needs to get it in a blink of an eye. Okay. So always run it by other people. Do you understand what this is about? Do you understand what I'm trying to convey with this headline? And, do some spot checking. Sometimes it's just the messaging is wrong. Sometimes it's design. Oh, let me go back to this. A very common one that I see in food all the time. Now, I'm not a huge ebook fan. You've probably gathered that already. But I think giving a free ebook is better than subscribe for updates. Do you know what I just saw today? This is what reminded me. Somebody had for their pop-up, never miss an update, never miss a recipe. And you'll also receive our free ebook that has something really valuable in it or whatever it was. It was in really small print, the free ebook. I'm like, I don't want your updates, but I might want the ebook if they just switched that. If they just switched that, they'll probably get better results, even though I'm not a big fan of. So design matters. Sometimes your headline is too small or is too big, or I don't know. It's just, if it's too big, it's annoying if it's not right. So run it by a few people and check on the design, especially on mobile. And then last but not least, maybe you just missed the mark. Maybe it just doesn't solve an actual problem. I may have told you this example. I'll tell it real quick. Trisha has a desserts website, and she gets a ton of traffic to pies. And so I was like, well, great. They want to make pies. So we made this how to make a pie concept. It was like 5 days of amazing pies, blah, blah, blah. Crickets, nothing, nobody signing up. We're like, why? Well, then I started thinking about it. How often do you actually make pie? Like once a year? So, and usually it's like, oh, I need that one recipe to make that one pie. It's not like we're all just sitting around going, oh, I'm just going to make more and more pies. We should. That would be a delicious world that we would live in, but it just doesn't happen. But so what we did is we just switched to some baking, just some general baking stuff, some delicious desserts and stuff. Boom, took off. So we just weren't solving the right problem. So just double check that. You just need a little sanity check sometimes. And the email and autopilot Facebook group is a great place to drop in and just ask for some questions. All right, I hope that helped one of you. Let me give you another little tip. This one's a fun one. If you need a subject line or a quick start guide idea, You can cheat. All right. Go to images.google.com. And let's say that you are in clean eating. Sorry, I just keep using food examples. I hope you don't mind. Clean eating magazine covers. Type in blank, whatever it is, magazine cover. We could do it with gardening. We can do it with whatever. All right. Now, what do I have here? I have ideas for headlines, for topics, both seasonal and evergreen. So let's just pop this open. All right. Joy in bloom. Easy tips to plan, plant, and grow with success. Lessons from our test garden. Double ideas for colorful containers, better beds and borders, plant varieties that thrive. Like that right there, there's 3 different emails. If you're into gardening, about beds and borders. There's one about plant varieties that thrive. There's lessons from a test garden. These are great. I don't even garden. Design a drought-proof garden. Simple and stunning pears for pots. Tricky weeds to watch out for. On and on and on. Okay. This is just a great way to get some ideas. I love it. I use it all the time. You don't even need ChatGPT. Just try this. Another one. This one is maybe a little bit more obscure to you. I'll drop this one in the chat. Mild.com is this website. So let's go there. And this is a little bit more about brands. You know that these people are spending money. By the way, that's true for the magazines as well. There's a paid professional on the other end that is coming up with headlines. That's their job. So if you have, I don't know, let's say that your brand is somehow closely related, similar in some way to Martha Stewart. Maybe we drop this in here and we change up the time frame. Let's load this. Boy, this is loading slow. But I could just click on Martha Stewart here. And here's recent emails from Martha Stewart. 9 things you should clean every day. How to clean your microwave. How to unclog a drain. The right way to clean white shoes. Closet makeover. Some breakfast recipes. The best way to load your dishwasher. Okay. So it's all in here. Just ideas are just to be had. And this works for lots of different brands. So you can try that. Here's another one. Go to BuzzFeed. This is, I'm not gonna take you to BuzzFeed. You've been to BuzzFeed, you know what I'm talking about. But rate these home decor trends. 30 home decor pieces from Etsy. We bet nobody else will have. And 36 things under $25 to help you spruce up your home decor. Just ideas, lots and lots of them, just for the taking. This is one you all should be doing. Remember this trick down here, the Mullen plus research at Gmail? Sign up for other people's lists, drop them into a special folder, and then when it's time for you to be inspired, go look at subject lines. What stands out to you? What are other people writing about? I'm not saying to copy other people. I'm saying to be inspired by other people. Okay, people in your space, people not in your space, people who, if you are in food and you just love Anna White's woodworking because you think she has really compelling copy and interesting concepts, I think that's smart. By the way, Anna White does a great job with her emails. So anna-white.com. Go sign up and you'll see what a woodworker does with emails. I'm going to talk about that for a second. I think it's really interesting. Let me show you one. I happen to know that these, she's not giving me permission to give you any results, but I happen to know that these work. Get inspired. Top brag post for the week. So what she does is she takes real humans that have used her woodworking plans, takes their quotes and their posts from Instagram, and then links to how you actually build it. So shows their work, and they feel great because they get to brag. And she says, be the inspiration, share a brag post. And she gets to promote. This is social proof at its finest. Okay. Now, again, let's think about this for a second. If you're into woodworking, you can't be doing woodworking all the time. And sometimes I'm going to work on the patio and sometimes I'm going to work on the closet in the master bedroom. So I may not be interested in the closet right now, but you show me some garage shelving that works for me. That sparks ideas. This is about inspiration. And for a woodworker, they're just sitting there dreaming of the next time that they can do a project. They love it. Same thing is true for crafts, for lots of things. They just want to be inspired. So this is just another great example of somebody that very simple email put together. And what she's just culled these from Instagram and other places and gotten permission to share them. Smart, super smart. All right. We're gonna close it up there today, guys. Simply because I'm gonna save those other pieces for tomorrow. If you will send me a note today of anything that's going on with you and your email business, I will devote time to help you get set up. All right, whatever that means. I want to make sure that you're successful, that you're not running into an issue, or that you're feeling like your copy isn't quite on par. I'm not saying I'm going to copy edit everybody's, but I can give you some. I've seen enough emails in my lifetime. I can give you some instant feedback. All right, so feel free to take me up on that. I want you to be successful. If you have any questions and you want to talk today, we have a couple minutes and I'll stick around and answer any questions that you have. Otherwise, I will look forward to seeing you all tomorrow when we'll really get the cash register humming. Does that sound good? All right, let's do it. If you got a question, unmute. Let's talk. Otherwise, we'll see you. Otherwise, get out of here. It's just weird. All right, thanks. Bye.